Welcome to a postseason edition of Battle Axe. This is the moment we've been waiting 7 weeks for. It's time for the double elimination postseason tournament to crown a Battle Axe champion. I'm Joey Dania alongside Bobby Bradford at the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque. It's going to be a best of three series. And of course, as we said, it's a double elimination tournament to crown a Battle Axe champion. Here's the rules. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are what the rings are worth. The bullseye's worth 6 points. This will be the first Battle Axe tournament with the new rules. Those new bullseyes on the 3 ring are also worth 6 points. You can only score on each bullseye one time on each half of every matchup. And then we've got new kill shots as well on the outermost ring. There's the small blue dot. That's worth 8 points. A player can go for it at any point during a match and get 8 points, but if they miss it, they get nothing. But keep in mind now, we've got the ring outside of the kill shot. That is worth 6 points if a player hits that. We are all set to begin the postseason tournament, and here is what everyone is competing for, Bobby.
Yes, this is the World Axe Throwing League Championship belt, currently held by Eric the Scope Shizzle, who has been coming on very strong towards the end of the season, Joey. But as we've seen, there are a number of competitors that are starting to get used to these boards, and they're primed and ready for this postseason competition. So I'm excited to see the matchups, and I'm excited to see who's going to take this baby home.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how things play out with these new rules. It's going to be a very exciting tournament, perhaps the most exciting tournament we've seen yet.
Absolutely. We've talked strategy this entire time, Joey, and now it's where people have to put it to the test.
Here is a look at the bracket. Matt Bradshaw, the number 1 seed. He awaits the winner of Devin Hillary and Michelle Frummelt. Beth Jen will take on Zach Hinkle. Eric Shizzle awaiting the winner of Ann Welp versus Brittany Brokel. And Leroy Kedley will take on Bob Yoakum.
Yeah, there's a lot of great competitors here in this matchup. As you can see, there's going to be a tough sledding there on the top part of that bracket to face Matt Bradshaw. So we'll see who comes out the victor in the A bracket and who can survive the B bracket.
Yeah, that's the key, is staying in the A bracket as long as possible. It
Correct.
makes things a lot easier, but we've certainly seen people work their way out of the B bracket to take the championship before. Let's get the postseason started. Michelle Frummelt will be taking on Devin Hillary.
This is the first match of the night here. Joey, Devin, and Michelle both coming in at 0-0, a best of 3 matchup. There's a 4 there from Devin, and a nice
4, 6.
bullseye there for Michelle to get the night started.
Great start for Michelle Frummelt. The key for her,
Throw 2.
keeping that axe in the wood.
Right.
She had some drops early on this season, but last postseason, you may remember, she had a great run. We'll see if she can replicate it here again.
Yeah, she had a fantastic run in the last league's postseason as well, Joey. And
4-4.
for her, again, like you said, to your point, she just no drops in her game. If she can eliminate the drops from her throws, she can really put some serious points on the board and make some waves. And then for Devin, of course, it's all about getting out of that vortex. She's been stuck in the vortex almost all season long, but we've seen flashes
4-4.
when she can start living in that 5 and 6 ring.
Devin Hillary
This is
and
throw
Michelle
number
Frummelt
4,
both
Michelle up
stuck
2.
in the vortex. Right now, the bullseye from the opening throw for Frummelt, the difference, a 2-point lead for Michelle Frummelt after 3 throws.
And we always talk too, Joey,
Cheese,
about,
that
not
looks
every
like a
4 is the same.
4-5.
As you can see there from that last throw from Devin, she's inching ever so closely to that 5 and 6 ring. It's just kind of figuring it out, getting it tweaked. But a nice
Throw
throw there
number
by
4.
Michelle
Michelle
for
up
a
3.
5. Ooh, axe getting away from Michelle there a little bit.
We'll see if that's a 3 or a 2.
4-3.
And ruled a 3. So Michelle, I guess, getting lucky a little bit, Joey. That
All right, at
wasn't
the
a 2,
turn,
but
Michelle is up
still
2,
up by 2.
22-20.
going into the turn.
So nothing but 4s on the first half from Devin Hillary. We'll see if she can get out of the vortex here. That was her best throw yet, and it is a 5. Perhaps it's a bullseye. It looks like a 5 from here, though.
Yeah, we'll see if it's popping in the bottom part of that
3-5.
blade. But again, Michelle, that axe getting away from her. So back-to-back 3s. Devin is able to tie this thing up on her 6th throw.
25
Throw
all
7.
with 4 throws to go. Pressure's on here for Devin Hillary and Michelle Frummelt.
And you saw there from Michelle is a better throw there. But on her
4-4.
6th throw, she just tried to overcorrect a little bit too much. She kind of let go of the axe a little too soon. But we
All
still
right,
have
this
a
is
tie
throw
game
number
going
8.
into the 8th
We are all
throw.
tied.
We shouldn't expect anything less in postseason play.
The postseason off to an exciting start here in our first matchup between Devin Hillary and
4-3.
Michelle Frummelt. Looked like Frummelt just missed the 5 ring.
Throw number 9.
So another
Michelle up
4,
1.
and it's a 3 from Devin Hillary. Her first 3 of the match. Couldn't have come at a worse time. It gives Frummelt a 1-point lead. 2 throws to go.
Yeah, Devin just held onto that axe just a little too long. Better release point there. That could be a 5 if it's popping through on the left-hand side of the blade.
She could really use a 5 right here because it looks like Frummelt might have a 5 of her own.
Right, yeah. Michelle has also got a very close throw. Matt's
4,
probably going to need to
4.
take a look at it, but he rules it a 4. Let's see if Michelle wants to challenge. She elects not to and
All right,
takes
this
her
is
1-point
throw
lead going
number
into the
10.
10th
Michelle is
throw.
up 1. 37-36.
So the center bullseye in play for both Devin Hillary and Michelle Frummelt.
There's a 4 from Michelle and a 5 from Devin.
Well, Michelle Frummelt left the door open, and it looks like Devin Hillary took full advantage. We are going to sudden death here. What a way to start the postseason.
Absolutely. You
All
can feel
right,
the
we are
electricity
tied
in
at
the air, and you said it,
41.
Joey.
It's
Michelle
time
left
for-
that door open, and Devin had a 5 absolutely when she needed it. Very clutch throw. Off the mark there from the kill shot, but a devastating drop there for
A
Michelle.
drop.
It looked like she would have won that one there, Joey.
Is Devin's.
Well, Devin Hillary comes back to get the win in the opening match in this best-of-3 series against Michelle Frummelt. We talked about the drops for Frummelt prior to the match beginning,
Right.
and go figure, it's what cost her this one in sudden death.
Yeah, you saw in that throw, Joey, she was so close to that kill shot. She definitely would have been closer than Devin was on her throw. But as it stands, it's a drop, and she does go down 0-1 to Devin, but there are still 2 more matches, so she's got to really focus up and concentrate on this next matchup, because if she doesn't win this one, she's going to go down to the B bracket. And we know you don't want to start the night off going down to the B bracket. But for her, she started off that match really well. Michelle had that bullseye there on her first throw. Then she had those back-to-back 3s on her 5th and 6th throw that really just put her behind the 8 ball and allowed Devin to come back in this game. And then for Devin, clutch throws there when you need them. That's what you need in the tournament here, Joey.
Yeah, a couple big 5s on her second half. We're ready for game number 2 in this best-of-3
Throw one, lanes are
series
open.
between Frummelt and Hillary.
One of the things, too, Joey, I love about
4-4.
postseason play, you know, we talk all the time about putting the pedals in the metal, keeping the pressure on your opponent. But in this style of play, when it's a best of 3, there's almost a game
Throw
within
2.
the game. So now Devin is in control of the situation. So she really wants to keep the pressure on Michelle. There's a great throw there on her second throw. And we'll see how Michelle responds to the pressure and if she can fight her way back
4,
to tie this thing
5.
up.
So Devin Hillary out to the early lead here after throwing a 5.
All right,
Michelle
throw
Frummelt
3,
with
Devin
a
up
couple of
1.
4s and a little wobble on that last throw as well. She's really got to avoid the drops in this one.
Yeah, we saw that there, Joey, on that last throw. It
5-4.
was a good eye. There was some wobble in her axe. That axe stuck in the wood a lot better.
All
And it was a better
tied.
result for her as well. So she's
Throw
able
number
to tie
4.
this thing up 13-13 going into the 4th throw. Looks like a couple 4s there, possibly a 5 there for Michelle if it's popping through in the bottom part of that blade. But as
4,
we've
4.
seen just from time and time again with Devin, she just gets stuck in that vortex and cannot get out of it. So it's got to be
All right, this is
very
throw number
frustrating
5,
for
all
her.
tied.
But again, she's in the driver's seat here. It's a very close game. See if she can start finding out. She's going the wrong direction there with that throw.
Well, Michelle Frummelt is starting to get dialed in. A few great throws in a row
5-3.
here. And that gives her a 2-point advantage over Devin Hillary.
Yeah,
All right,
Devin
at the
with a devastating
turn.
3 there
Devin
on
is up
that
2,
5th throw. Maybe
22-20.
changing sides will help
Throw
her
number
out.
6.
But yeah, as you said, Joey, Michelle is starting to heat up here. She's starting to find that 5 ring on a little more consistent basis. There's a nice throw by Devin. That could be
4-4.
popping through in the top, but rule to 4.
Yeah, the 4s that Frummelt has been throwing as of late, they haven't been missing that 5 ring
7,
by
Devin up
much.
2.
Yeah.
Pressure's really on Devin Hillary at this moment. She's in the driver's seat, but she's got to put this one away when she has the opportunity.
Yeah, it looks like that could be a 5 if it's popping through in the bottom part of that blade. And looks like a 4 there for Michelle and rule to
5-4.
5 there for Devin. So big throw right there.
Well, we've got another nail biter here in game 2
Devin
between
is up
Michelle
3.
Frummelt
This is
and
throw
Devin
number 8.
Hillary. It's a 1-point lead for Frummelt.
It's so important for Devin to replicate that muscle memory.
Yes.
Again, a very close throw. That could be popping through on the left-hand side for her. And it looks like another 4 there for Michelle.
5-4.
Oh, you see the excitement out of Matt.
Matt the Magic Man lives for the postseason. Back-to-back fives from Devin
Yeah.
Throw
Hillary.
number 9.
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling for Devin to have the back-to-back fives tie this thing up. So she can carry over. That might be a bullseye there. Looks like a 5 there for Michelle, but Devin could have a bullseye here if it's popping through on the right side of that blade.
5-5.
But a couple of 5s.
Well, when Devin Hillary gets into a rhythm, she can be
All right, we are
just
tied.
as dangerous as about
39's, throw
anybody
number
in this
10.
league, and she's starting to figure something out.
Right.
3 straight fives for Devin Hillary.
Are we going to have back-to-back sudden death? We're going to get a ruling here. Michelle's really hoping that that's going to be a 4. And Matt's going to get a closer look, knowing how important this call is. From the looks of it.
4-3.
Wow. So ruled a 3 there for Michelle. Let's see if she wants to get a second opinion. Elects to take the
Devin
axe and
takes
go
that
down to the B
one.
bracket.
43-42.
Well, Devin Hillary, another comeback win to stay in the A bracket. Michelle Frummelt now dropping to the B bracket.
Yeah, just a tremendous showing there by Devin Hillary. She started off this match a little shaky. She did have that 5 there on her second throw, but she had a 3 there on her fifth throw. So changing lanes definitely helped her out a ton, Joey. She had 3 consecutive 5s to get back in the driver's seat of this thing. So really a testament to her responding to the pressure and coming away with the victory. And then for Michelle Frummelt, she's going to go down to the B bracket, but we saw some flashes of the throw, Joey, and we know she can make a run in the postseason. So it's up to her to kind of figure that throw out. We don't want wobbly axes in the board. We want those axes to stick in that board nice and firm. And she's got a journey ahead of her, but we know she can do it.
Michelle Frummelt going to try and work her way back out of the B bracket. Let's take a look at the updated bracket here. Matt Bradshaw will now take on Devin Hillary. Beth Jen going to take on Zach Hinkle. Eric Schizzle will take on Ann Welp after Welp defeated Brittany Brokel. And Leroy Kedley will take on Bob Yoakum. That's the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so Brittany Brokel will head down to the B bracket with Michelle Frummelt. And then Devin Hillary has a very, very tough task to go up against Matt Magic Man Bradshaw. But we saw some really high-pressure throws from her in her couple matches that we've already seen. So we'll see if she can carry that over.
We are just getting this postseason started. We'll have much more postseason action here on Battle Axe coming up right after a quick break. Stay tuned to NC22. Welcome back to Postseason Battle Axe here at the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque. I'm Joey Dania alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. We're just getting the postseason started, and we're already off to an exciting start.
Oh, yeah, if those first 2 matches are any indication of the rest of the night, we're in for an exciting game.
Well, this is a matchup most have been greatly anticipating. It's Beth Jen taking on Zach Hinkle. This one should be a dandy.
Oh, this is going to be a great matchup here. We know both competitors want to take home that belt and have the ability to do so. So big first throw for both competitors. We'll see how they get the night started.
Game 1 in a best-of-3 series between Beth Jen and Zach Hinkle. Great start for Beth Jen, a flush bullseye. She can no longer score 6 on that center bullseye for the rest of the first half.
Yeah, we'll see how she approaches her strategy now that she hit that bullseye there on the first one. If she's going to be adventurous and go for those outside bullseyes. Looks to play the middle of the board.
Well, in the postseason, when you have a lead,
you want to keep it.
Yeah, there's not as much incentive to get adventurous.
Correct.
Obviously, when you're in the regular season, you can get a little more daring, but with the entire season on the line, having the lead is all you really can ask for.
Well, we talk all the time, too, about how important strategy is. And, it's kind of the game within the game. You can kind of break it down to like 3 throws to 3 throws to the next 3 throws just to kind of determine what your opponent's doing and figure out how you can play the board. But Zach with a nice flush bullseye there.
5, 6.
5 there for Beth, but it's got to be nice that it was would have been a bullseye.
Throw number 5, Beth up 1.
So Zach Hinkle now within a point. He can no longer score 6 on the center bullseye. We'll see what he does here with throw number 5.
And I'd like to see, Zach kind of get a little adventurous, go out, be the aggressor in the situation.
Right,
he is able to tie this thing up with a nice throw on his 5th throw. But we know that he's been getting a little adventurous with those outside bullseyes, and that can really be a huge feather in your cap when you're going up against an opponent like Beth Jen. He Axe getting away from him a little bit there. Looks like that could be a 3, Joey. And it looks like that could be
4,
a
5.
bullseye, but ruled a 5 there for Beth. We'll see if she wants a second ruling on that one. Very close to being a bullseye, but takes a 1-point lead going into the 7th
All right, Beth
throw.
up 1, throw 7.
4 throws to go to decide this one between Zach Hinkle and Beth Jen. Great throw there from Hinkle. Looks like a flush bullseye. That might be a bullseye for Beth Jen as well.
Yeah, we'll see if that's popping through on the right-hand side of that
6,
Axe, but
5.
very close and ruled a 5. So Zach with a great clutch throw.
All right, we are tied
Take
at
away what I said
33.
earlier
This is
about
throw
going
number
to those
8.
outside bullseyes. Just keep pumping it in on the middle of that board. Put the pressure on Beth Jen to make the throws.
Well, our third matchup here of the evening.
4-4.
And we've got another nail biter. 4-4
Yes, it
here
is.
from
Tied
Jen
at
and Hinkle
37s,
to
throw 9.
keep it tied. 37 all, 2 throws to go.
And Beth still has the bullseye on her side of the lane here, but this is where I think having those outside bullseye throws in your back pocket, great throw there by Beth. But having those in your back pocket, Joey, allow you to make up some serious points when your opponent's
4,
already
6.
hit the bullseye on their lane.
Well, just like that, Beth
All right,
Jen
this is
takes
throw
a
10. Beth
2-point
is up
lead
2,
over Zach
43,
Hinkle.
41.
Zach's got a tough decision to make about how he wants to approach this final throw.
He has to go for one of those outside bullseyes right now because, I mean, he's hoping Beth hits a 4, which she does. So we'll see if he can hit one of the outside bullseyes focusing up. Ooh, Joey, he might have gotten it.
Oh!
How about that? Big ruling
6,
coming here from Matt the Magic
4.
Man. Zach
Nice.
Hinkle with ice in his veins nails the bullseye that he had to have to send this into sudden death.
We are
That was just a
tied at
fantastic
47.
clutch throw there by Zach Hinkle.
Here we go.
Beth Jen left that door open, and you could see there from our action cam, Joey, on the left-hand side of that blade, that red was popping through. So, Zach, let's see if he can do it again with the bullseye or with the kill shot. And Beth, just focusing up. She knows she has that kill shot in her back pocket as well. Ooh.
This is awfully close. Might have to get out the measuring tape here on this one.
Yeah, Matt's going to get his steps in today because these are some close games and close throws. Matt getting a measurement. And it's ever so close, Joey. I mean, it's hard to even tell from just looking at it with your eyeballs. Get a closer look there.
Yep, Zach takes that one.
Ooh.
Zach Hinkle winning this one in sudden death after a clutch bullseye on the final throw to send it into sudden death.
Yeah, Zach just a tremendous second half of that game there. As you can see, he had a couple bullseyes there. He went for one of those outside bullseyes, which, again, earlier in the match, Joe, I was talking, you can almost break these throws down like by 3s because starting this matchup, Beth was in control. She had that nice bullseye to start the match, and then Zach kind of started up being stuck in that vortex, but he quickly turned that around with a 6-5 and another 4, but just some clutch throws, and if he can continue to do that, he might be going away with that belt.
Zach Hinkle off to a great start this postseason. He will look to send Beth Jen down to the B bracket here in game number 2 in this best-of-3 series. Here's Zach on his approach to the postseason.
It depends on the opponent of who I'm going. I mean, I am hitting 5s and 6s all day, and then I will switch to the kill shots in the circles if I need to, if I'm down a point or 2, like I've done that time. If I'm steady ahead, I'm just going to keep on hitting 5s and 6s.
See, I had been wondering if Hinkle was thinking about going for a kill shot on his final throw because if you miss the kill shot by just a little bit,
Correct.
you get the 6 points. So another way where he could have won on the final
Correct.
shot, and then perhaps, if not, you send it to sudden death.
It's a fantastic point, Joey, and just one of the other layers of strategy that we have here in this wonderful sport of axe throwing.
Well, Beth Jen forced a winner-take-all Game 3
Throw
to
one.
stay alive in the A bracket. Zach Hinkle looking to send Jen down to the B bracket. It's all on the line here in game number 3.
Yeah, we get our first rubber match of the night here,
4-4.
Joey. Match 1 was great, and Beth was able to come back and tie this thing up to force a game 3. A couple 4s there by both competitors to get this match started. For both these competitors, they're used to these high-pressure throws now. We're in game number 3, and we're going to see some great throws here.
Yeah, and they've been in the postseason before. Jen had a great
4-5.
run last postseason. We'll see if she can do the same here this time around. Both of these
number
competitors know
3,
just how
Beth up
important
1.
it is to stay in the A bracket for as long as possible.
Absolutely, yeah. Going down to the B bracket is a gauntlet. It's a winner go home. And then, too, Joey, you also play more
6-6.
games. I mean, fatigue becomes a factor at some point in this postseason. And a nice throw
Throw
at both
4, Beth up
competitors. So a
1.
couple sixes. And you can see the progression. Beth with the 4, 5, and 6. Zach with a couple fours to get his night started, or this match started. But a nice 6 there on
5-5.
the third throw.
So the center bullseye not available for the rest of the first half for both Jen and Hinkle.
Throw 5, Beth
They're
up
going
1.
to play conservative and just try to pepper that 5 ring.
Yeah, at this point in the game, you don't really, there's no real mistakes that have been made, But playing that middle of the board, letting your opponent kind of make a mistake is not a bad strategy. Matt's going to get a closer look, hoping that pops
4,
through in the bottom
5.
part of the blade there for Zach, but rule to 4. Beth able to
All
get
right, at
another
the
point
turn,
on him.
Beth is up 2, 25-23.
But we talked all the time to
Throw 6,
Joey
lanes are
about
open.
Devin Hillary's throw, how she's kind of getting stuck in that vortex. As we've seen from Beth here, I mean, she's just really living in that 5 and 6 ring. And we know that's the step that you need to take to become one of the elite throwers. And she has definitely done that. And Zach is
5-4.
definitely making his strides to live in that 5 and 6 ring as well.
Well, Beth Jen has a 3-point
3,
lead
throw
here.
7.
She is in the driver's seat here in game number 3 between her and Zach Hinkle.
Looks like that could be a 5 if it's popping
5-5.
through. That's a 5 there for Beth for sure. So Beth at this point happy to trade points with 3 throws
Beth
to
up
go.
3, throw 8.
Zach Hinkle is going to need a big throw here. Hinkle and Jen both still have the center bullseye available.
Yeah, we'll see how this throw goes. And just a little early release there for Zach. And it looks like that could be a 5 if it's popping through on the right-hand side of the blade there for Beth Jen.
It's a big
4-4.
ruling here for Zach Hinkle. It's a
is.
4, so that keeps it a 3-point game.
Yeah, I mean,
right, this is
being
throw
down
number
3
9,
with
Beth
2
up
throws
3.
to go, still has the door open to come back. But it definitely would have liked to gain a point on Beth to make this thing a 2-point game with 2 throws to go. Looks like another 4 there for Zach, and Beth with a clutch throw.
A flush bullseye from Beth Jen. That's going to give her a commanding lead heading into the
6-4.
final throw. So a 5-point lead now for Beth Jen. Zach
All right,
Hinkle
last throw.
going for the
Beth
kill
is up
shot.
by
He has
5.
to.
Kill
Absolutely, you
shot
have
called
to,
on the
and
right.
you have to hope that Beth Jen makes a mistake here. But if anything, it's a high-pressure throw. You want to get used to these high-pressure throws, and we're in a rubber match here, so this is a good one to have under the belt.
And there is the dagger from
5 and a
Beth
miss.
Jen.
Yeah.
She gets the win over Zach Hinkle. A great round of 50 to
Beth
stay
takes that one,
alive in
50
the
to
A
40.
bracket, sending Hinkle down to the B bracket.
Yeah, Zach Hinkle will go down to the B bracket, but he will do that fighting. So he has some high-pressure throws under his belt already, and a nice score of 40, even going for that kill shot and not getting it. He had that one bullseye there on his third throw and a couple 5s, a little too many 4s. So we know he can live in that 5 and 6 ring. You just have to do it consistently. And then for Beth Jen, what can you say? If you're going to advance in the A bracket, those are the kind of scores you're going to put up with a nice round of 50. As you can see, only 2 4s there on the scorecard. Everything else was 5s and 6s. So she is a formidable opponent and wants to take home that belt for sure.
Another great matchup here in this postseason as we are paving the way to crown a Battle Axe champion. Let's take a look at the updated bracket here. We'll start in the A bracket, and it's Matt Bradshaw now going to take on Devin Hillary. Beth Jen awaiting the winner between that one. Eric Schizzle advancing past Ann Welp. He awaits the winner between Leroy Kedley and Bob Yoakum.
Yeah, Devin has a tough task, as we said earlier, Joey, going up against Matt Bradshaw. And if she is able to vanquish Matt Bradshaw, she has another tough matchup. That's the trials and tribulations of being in the A bracket. But as we see there, Leroy Kedley and Bob Yoakum be an exciting matchup to see who faces the scope.
Much more Battle Axe still to come here on this postseason edition from the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range. We'll bring it to you straight ahead. Stay tuned to MC22. Welcome back to Postseason Battle Axe here at the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque. I'm Joey Dania alongside Bobby Bradford, what a thrilling start it's been to this postseason.
Yeah, we've seen two total matches already so far, Joey, and they've been just action-packed, full of high-pressure throws and tremendous competition. Some players have gone down to the B bracket and some have advanced in the A bracket, and we have an exciting matchup coming up.
Leroy Kedley will be taking on Bob Yoakum.
Yeah, so Bob Yoakum has
Throw one.
just been steady Eddie this entire season, playing that middle of the board. It's definitely worked out for him. He's gotten as high as number 2 in the rankings.
This is game number 2 in the
5-4.
best of 3 series. Leroy Kedley, the victor in game number 1. He'll be looking to send Bob Yoakum
two.
down to the B bracket with a win here in game number 2.
And Leroy Kedley has been a competitor, Joey, that's come on so strong towards the end of the season. He's really found his stroke. Playing the middle of the board, you know, he said in interviews past that he doesn't feel comfortable going for those outside bullseyes. We'll see if he's challenged to do so, but as we've already seen in this tournament, Joey, if you remain in the driver's seat, you can
5-5.
play that middle of the board and let your opponent make the mistake.
Couple of 5s here from Kedley and Yoakum. So Leroy,
3.
the lumberjack
Leroy's up
Kedley,
1.
maintains that 1-point advantage. The center bullseye still available for Yoakum and Kedley. We'll see who can get it first.
4-4.
Bullseye Bob would like to see a bullseye here sometime soon, but he's a little bit stuck in that vortex.
Throw 4,
Got that
Leroy
5
up
on that
1.
second throw, but still a 1-point lead for Leroy going into the 4th throw.
There's just a different sense of pressure that comes with the postseason.
Nice.
Sometimes it takes a few throws to shake off the
6-6.
rust.
Right.
And Leroy Kedley has shaken off the rust. So is Bob Yoakum. A couple of bullseyes there.
All right, throw number
So
5.
still a
Leroy up
1-point
1,
lead for
2019.
Kedley. The center bullseye no longer available here on this 5th throw for Kedley and Yoakum.
Well, you can see Bob so focused up on that middle of the board,
5-5.
but you can also see it in Leroy. He is not intimidated by Bullseye Bob. So
All right, at the
he is
turn, Leroy's up
playing his
25,
game, sticking in the middle of
24.
that board, and then just doing a tremendous job. Only 1-4 there
Throw
on that
6,
first
lanes are
5
open.
throws. We'll see if he can carry it over to the other side.
Leroy Kedley bringing a 1-point lead into the second half.
And both players
5-5.
just doing a tremendous job of moving out of that 4 ring and living in that 5 and 6 ring. And Leroy's done it in a very quick time. You know, he started off the league a little shaky, had some drops in his game, but he's really
4, 5.
worked out those kinks. And another tremendous throw. They're able to get a point on Bob.
So now a
Throw number
2-point
8, Leroy up
advantage
2.
for Kedley. Just 3 throws to go here in regulation.
And so for Bob, he needs a bullseye here just to get back on track. So
5-5.
close. Looks like that's a 5. And a nice 5 there for Leroy popping through in the top part of that blade.
Throw number
Kedley
9.
happy
Leroy up
to
2,
trade
40-38.
points with Bob Yoakum at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
2 throws to go. Bob Yoakum needs a big throw here.
And you can see Bob shaking his
4,
head.
4.
It's a devastating 4, but
All right, gentlemen, throw
Leroy
number 10. Leroy
throws
is
a
up
4
2,
in
44,
suit.
42.
Well, Bob Yoakum has to hope for a 4 from Kedley and a bullseye to send it to sudden death.
I would have liked Bob to wait. I know he's a rhythm
4,
thrower. I would
5.
like to have him wait, see what Leroy does. But as it
Leroy
stands, he'll be
takes
going
that
down to the
one,
B bracket.
49, 46. Takes
So
the
a
match.
49-46 final. Leroy Kedley staying alive in the A bracket. Bob Yoakum heading down to the B bracket.
Yeah, if you look at Leroy's scorecard there, you can see only 2 4s there on that scorecard on the 3rd and the 9th throw for an impressive round of 49. And like we said with Beth Jen, you know, those are the kind of scores that can win a championship. So kudos to him for vanquishing Bob, going down to the B bracket. Leroy looks like he's in shape to survive the A bracket as long as he possibly can, possibly take home this belt. But for Bob, he'll go down to the B bracket. Just the one bullseye there on the scorecard, something we're not used to seeing out of bullseye Bob Yoakum. Too many 4s, but let's see if he can fix it, get it straightened out there in the B bracket, and let's see if he can advance.
Well, it wouldn't feel like postseason battle axe without the 3-time champion Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. He's going to be taking on Devin Hillary.
Yeah, first time seeing Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. We've seen him judge some matches already, but he's bringing the excitement, the pants, the legacy of a champion.
Bradshaw looking to win that belt for the 4th time, and to no surprise, his postseason gets started with a flush bullseye.
And we've seen Matt throughout the season, Joey. He's dabbled with those outside bullseyes, but he has remained locked into that middle of the board. That is his strategy,
4,
tried
5.
and true. That's where I want the other competitors to kind of get used to that outside bullseye, be able to put the pressure on Matt when we know that he's going to be sticking to the middle of the board.
Well, Devin Hillary played great in her opening matchup against Michelle Frummel to advance, and the reward, a matchup against the greatest of all time in this league.
And Devin was off the mark there with that 3, but as you can see, it's close to that 5 and 6 ring there on the upper right-hand side. So a mistake there. She's down by 5. But for her, it's all about getting used to those pressure throws. Work on your game.
4-5.
Even if you're going up against a foe of Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, you can still start finding that 5 and 6 ring, and maybe David can beat Goliath.
It's going to be your 5th throw.
So Bradshaw with a commanding 6-point advantage after the first 4 throws.
And as you can see, Matt just playing the middle of the board, so consistent. There's another 5 there.
Switch
But for
sides.
Devin, yeah, it's a release point thing. I think,
26,
Joey, she just has to
19.
get comfortable with that release point to find that 5 and 6 ring, because we see those 4s are very, very close to being 5s. Or a little
3-5?
early release there for
Correction,
her.
3-6.
And Matt just takes care of that center bullseye right away.
Matt Bradshaw is dialed in. He's been just about perfect here to start his postseason.
Devin's going to get a
4.
bring Eric over to get a closer look, and that is a 4, so lucky that wasn't a 3.
Well, at this point in the matchup,
7.
Devin Hillary down by 9. I'd like to see her get a little adventurous.
Correct.
Maybe start thinking about the kill shot already.
5.
Well, and we've seen with her throw, Joey, she's stuck in that vortex, but, maybe start focusing on those other bullseyes. Maybe they're a little easier to hit. Maybe you can hit them more consistently, because we know she's hitting 4s consistently, but there's a lot of options out there for better points.
6.
A
5.
flush bullseye right there from Devin Hillary.
Yeah,
And it's a 5 for the Magic Man. Would have been a 6 had
Right.
he
Not a kill shot
not
on
already
that.
scored the 6 on the center bullseye. So great throw there from Devin Hillary. We'll see what she does here.
Well, and that was the kind of throw,
4,
Joey,
5.
that I'd like Devin to have to hopefully carry over to other throws. So she follows it up with a 4,
37.
but that was a flush bullseye. That was a great
Kill
throw.
shot called from Matt.
It is a 10-point game. But this is where I like Matt's calling the kill shot here. He knows he's up, and he's got to have those kill shots to win a championship. So we'll see if he can hit it here. Ooh, so
3.
close. I think he missed, and he did not get the 6 either. I get confirmation on that. Matt got a closer look.
So Matt the Magic Man staying alive in
47.
the A bracket. Devin Hillary will now go to work in the B bracket.
Yeah, for Devin, again, too many 4s there on the scorecard. She did have that 1-3 on her 3rd throw and the 10th throw as well. So the axe getting a little erratic, but we'll see if she can survive the B bracket and maybe get a rematch with Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw down the line. But she did have a nice bullseye there on her 8th throw, something I know she's been working on. Let's see if she can carry it over. But for Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, what can you say? I mean, even with the kill shot attempt there on the 10th throw, he still put up an impressive score of 47. Nothing but 5s and 6s. Didn't even sniff getting close to that 4 ring whatsoever. So he is dialed in. He has his strategy, and he is dangerous.
Losing to Bradshaw, nothing to hang your head over. Here is Devin Hillary on going up against the Magic Man.
Yeah, Matt's just Matt, man. You know when you play against him, a lot of the times you're gonna play well because he just challenges people to be better. There still is just that gigantic challenge where he's just gonna soar above you in points, and you have to keep your confidence up. So it's a really good practice game, essentially, just overall to boost your confidence a little bit, to be able to kind of get out of your own head a little bit. So, and Matt's just good competition. He's great. It's if I'm going to lose to anybody, I mean, I don't mind that it's Matt.
Well, that speaks volumes to the character of this league and the fellowship. Everyone loves going against the Magic Man, not only because it's just such a challenge, but he really makes everyone better, and he likes to see that as well.
He really does, Joey. Yeah, he elevates the level of competition for everybody. He's such a supporter of growth for throwers and a tremendous player in this league.
Well, here is a look at the semifinals in the A bracket. It's the 1 seed, Matt Bradshaw. He'll take on the 2 seed, Beth Jen. Eric the Scope Shizzle, the defending champion, will take on Leroy Kedley.
Yeah, we know Beth has a challenge going up against Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, but we saw in that last matchup with Zach Hinkle, she put up a really impressive score. And then look out for Leroy Kedley. I mean, the way that he defeated Bob Yoakum was pretty impressive, and he can go toe-to-toe with the Scope.
We'll bring you those matches coming up here after a break on MC22. Stay tuned for more Battle Axe. Welcome back to a postseason episode of Battle Axe. We're here at the Boston Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque to crown a Battle Axe champion. As always, I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford. And what a matchup we have coming up next. It's the 1 seed against the 2 seed. Beth Jen will be taking on Matt Bradshaw. Here's Jen on going up against the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I think it can be a really fun competitive match. I've been working on the outside bullseyes a bit, just in case I need those. And so I think the plan is to stay center as long as I can, and then if I end up throwing a 4, knowing that I have to go to one of those outside bullseyes. And if I can hit that, and if I miss, at least get the 5 out of it, I think that's my strategy going forward. And I might try and surprise them and go up on an early kill shot.
Well, that should make for a very exciting matchup here between Beth Jen and Matt Bradshaw.
Well, we talk all the time about you have to be the aggressor, so going up against Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, we know he's going to put up some points, but you got to throw some curveballs in there. So going up for an early kill shot might be something that Beth Jen wants to consider.
Bradshaw and Jen in a best-of-3 series with the A bracket on the line.
So Matt won the first matchup, so Beth is down 0-1 with going to the B bracket on the line. We'll see how she fares, and that's a 4 and a 6 there for Matt, so not the start that Beth Jen wanted.
Yeah, and that gives Bradshaw complete control now. He can just continue to pepper the 5 ring until Beth Jen can put some pressure on him.
And there's a lot of throws, and that's a better throw there for Beth. That could be a bullseye if it's popping through on the bottom part of the blade. And ruled a bullseye there for Beth and a 5 there for Matt. So nice rebound there from that 4 to get the night started.
Absolutely. Now we'll see how Jen plays this one after getting the center bullseye.
Correct.
Might be a little early to get too aggressive, but we'll see what she does.
Yeah, it's again kind of breaking those throws down again, Joey. So at this point, she's down by 2. Let's see if she wants to start being the aggressor through this next little chunk of throws, or if she just wants to keep playing the middle of that board. But for her, it's important to put the pressure on Matt, make him uncomfortable. And there she did. She moved outside. Love it, Joey.
Love to see that. She talked about going for a kill shot perhaps early on. I'd love to see that as well. That could really change the course of this one.
Absolutely. And she said going early, if that's on your 7th throw too, that's still considered early, but I love the aggressive throw.
5.
She went back to the middle of the board there. Still down by 2 though.
So Bradshaw and Jen will switch sides. Bradshaw up by 2 heading into the second half.
So then this is resetting here now. So both players are going to play the middle of the board there. And it looks like that's a bullseye there for Matt and a 5 there for Beth.
So Bradshaw increasing his lead to 3. However, he can no longer score 6 on the center bullseye.
And for Beth, if she can get this bullseye out of the way and then start making her way over, and it looks like she's got a nice bullseye there.
So that's just what she needed. And now Beth Jen has the opportunity to get back within this one if she can get some of those outside bullseyes.
Yeah, she's definitely within striking range here, Joey. So if she can move over to those other bullseyes and start hitting them, Alexa play in the middle of the board.
Throw number 9.
I mean, I guess you can kind of wait for those last 2 throws, maybe to try to tie this thing up, but you want to be the aggressor. You want to go for the victory here.
And she, of course, still has the kill shot in her arsenal as well.
But I think she has to be going for these outside bullseyes, and she elects to play in the middle of the board again, Joey.
So now it's a 3-point lead for Bradshaw. I think you've got to go for the kill shot here.
You got to go for the kill shot, and you got to hope that Matt hits a 5. That's definitely plausible.
3.
So Beth does make the call. She's going to go for that kill shot. Matt does his part and hits a 5. Let's see if she can do it. Oh, so
5.
close.
Could have had sudden death, but instead Bradshaw staying alive in the A bracket. Another great round for the Magic Man. He gets the win 52-44.
Yeah, Matt, just with model and consistency here, as you can see there, same score, nothing but 6s and 5s, just remaining true to the middle of that board. He is a true champion, one of the best players in the world, so it's no surprise that he is advancing in the A bracket. But for Beth Jen, she did a great job of sticking around this game here, Joey. She could have been a little more aggressive at times, but all in all, she stuck in this matchup. She kept it close. She was very aggressive with the kill shot there on the 10th throw, so a nice job. As you can see, again, only a couple 4s there on the scorecard, so a really nice sign for Beth Jen. She's going to go down to the B bracket. We'll see if she can survive the gauntlet. Matt does advance, and he awaits the winner of Eric and Leroy.
Yeah, that is the other semifinal matchup in the A bracket. Leroy the Lumberjack Kedley taking on the defending champion, Eric the Scope Shizzle.
So the first time seeing Eric the Scope here tonight. He is already up 1-0 over Leroy. But Leroy did a great job in his matchup with Bob Yoakum of living in that 5 and 6 ring and carries it right over here in this matchup. And Eric not to be outdone. It looks like that's at least a 5, possibly a 6.
Hold, please.
It's popping through on the left-hand side.
6, 6.
Ruled a couple 6s.
Well, a perfect start here for Eric the Scope
Gotta love the
and
touch.
Leroy the Lumberjack. Now we'll see how these two play the board the rest of the way in this first half.
And again, Leroy, he's carrying himself. It doesn't look like he's intimidated by Eric the Scope. And you can see Eric is focused on his throw and his throw alone.
Yeah, we know Kedley is
5,
much more comfortable just playing the center ring. Eric the Scope, much more adventurous throughout the regular season, but he's happy to just get a 5 there as well.
Yeah, Eric, throughout his entire axe throwing career, has been very adventurous, going for that kill shot early on when everyone was really uncomfortable with that. And then with these new bullseyes added to the board, he's been adventurous later on in the season as well. He's a master strategist, so he knows
5,
that
5.
those are very important elements to taking home a champion, and that's why he is one.
Kedley and Shizzle locked in right now. Those were a couple more flush bullseyes, but they only count for 5.
Yeah, but again, it's got to be such a great feeling for Leroy to see that axe go consistently in that bullseye, really live in that 5 and 6 ring. And that could be, it looks like a 5 popping through there on the top part for Eric. Could be a 5 there for Leroy as well.
Let me do a job, man.
Beth going to get a closer look.
5, 5.
So a couple more 5s from Kedley and Shizzle.
I like to keep things
Who
dramatic.
will make a mistake first?
Yeah, this is just a tremendous
Drama
matchup
is my
here.
middle
Leroy
name.
with his back up against the wall, going down to the B bracket if he loses. Really going throw to throw with Eric the Scope. Looks like, ooh, that might have got away from him a little bit. That could be a 4 there. So Eric focusing up. Ooh,
Hold, please.
that could be a 4 there for Eric as well.
I don't have your eyeballs, remember?
So a big ruling coming here from Beth Jen
Oh,
to
the
see
fact that
if
you missed?
Eric the Scope or Leroy Kedley can take the lead.
Yeah, it looks like that's a 4 there for Leroy, but
4, 5.
oh, ruled a 5 there for Leroy. So not popping through on the left-hand side there for Eric the Scope, and must be popping through in the bottom part there for Leroy.
Well, they had been tied all the way up until that moment. Leroy Kedley
Yeah, you got a 5.
now with a
Okay,
1-point
that was still a 5.
advantage
Switch 'em up.
heading into the second half.
All right, Leroy's up
Both
by
players
1.
so locked in they forgot it was the 5th throw, and they have to change sides. So we knew this was going to be a intense competition, and it's living up to it.
This is exactly where Leroy Kedley would like to be in this situation. 5 right there.
Well, it's just really impressive what Leroy's been able to do this season. You know, he had those early drops, and he had some problems with his release
Hold,
point
please.
early on in the season, but he is just consistently living in that 5 and 6 ring, and he did it in a relatively short
5,
time.
4.
So Leroy Kedley picking up another point on Eric the Scope.
Drama.
2-point lead
Yeah,
for
of
Kedley.
course. That's what I'm
4
all
throws
about.
to go.
And this is where he's really in the driver's seat right now. He can just continue to live in the middle of that board. Eric has to make up some points, so as long as he doesn't make a mistake, he can come away with the victory and tie this thing up and force a game 3. Looks like a 5 there
Hold,
for
please.
Leroy. That could be a bullseye if it's popping through.
My eyes were better.
On the bottom part of that blade there for the Scope. We'll have to get Beth Jen's ruling here.
I don't think it'll help me. 5, 6.
And ruled a bullseye.
So Eric the Scope, the first to hit the bullseye in the second half of this
All
one.
right, this is throw 8.
He's now
Leroy's
within a
up by
point
1.
of Leroy Kedley, but the Scope can no longer score a 6 on the center bullseye.
Yeah, we'll see what Eric decides to do here. If he's going to continue to play the middle of the board. There's a nice bullseye there by Leroy Kedley.
6,
He
5.
does elect to play the middle of the board, but Leroy able to get that point back. 2-point lead with 2 throws to go, Joey.
And we saw
Throw
the
9,
Scope
Leroy's up by
so
2.
adventurous throughout the regular season, and this is where it could pay dividends for the Scope. He's going to have to get a little adventurous, likely, unless Kedley makes a big mistake.
Yeah, we'll see. Eric has this entire match been waiting for Leroy to throw before he throws, so he is monitoring what Leroy does, and there he goes for the outside bullseye. It looks like he at least got a 5 there, Joey.
5, 6.
and
Well,
rule
he got the bullseye.
He got the
So,
bullseye.
Eric the Scope,
All right,
ice
this is
in
round
his
10. Leroy's
veins.
up by 1.
That's why you get adventurous throughout the regular season. For moments like that, he blows on the axe. He is feeling it right now. Pressure's on for Leroy Kedley, but he does have that 1 point lead.
Absolutely. The axe getting hot there for Eric the Scope right at the right time. And Leroy has left the door open. We will see if Eric can
4
capitalize.
5.
And it looks like that's a 5. So we are going to sudden death here, Joey. Tremendous throw there by Eric to. Well, they're getting a closer look at this thing. Is it? Eric challenged it as he got closer.
Yeah, this needs to be a 4 for Kedley. If not,
3.
the Scope is going to get the win.
Wow.
So the
No,
call
I'm sure.
is changed. It's a
that way
3
you just
for
hand it to
Leroy Kedley, and Eric the Scope gets the win, 51-50.
Well, what a way to go down to the B bracket. We thought he had a 4 there on that 10th throw. Unfortunately for him, on a closer look, it was ruled a 3, and Eric got hot at the right time. You can see there from the last 4 throws, nothing but 6s and 5s. He did have a couple 4s there on his 5th and 6th throw to let Leroy kind of take the lead here, but what a tremendous turn of events. All of a sudden, we thought we were going to go to sudden death. We were going to see some more kill shot attempts, but as it stands, Leroy will go down to the B bracket, and Eric advances.
Well, now it is win or go home for Leroy Kedley in the B bracket. Here's Kedley on his strategy moving forward.
Keep winning. Keep hitting my 5s and 6s, and we'll hope for the best.
Fantastic strategy.
That's all you need to do, right? Keep winning, hit your 5s and 6s, and hope for the best.
Well, let's take a look at the updated bracket as we are closing in on crowning a new Battle Axe champion. Here's a look at the A bracket. It's Eric the Scope Shizzle and Matt Bradshaw, the only 2 left in the A bracket.
Should be no surprise to see the Scope facing the Magic Man here in the A bracket, but as we've seen leading up to this, Joey, there's just been so much tremendous competition going on. A lot of these players are getting into that 5 and 6 ring, getting really high pressure throws under their belt. The B bracket is going to be on fire, but we have the A bracket set here with our final matchup in our A bracket, so it should be a good one.
Get your popcorn ready. Bradshaw versus Shizzle coming up straight ahead here on MC22. Stay tuned for postseason Battle Axe. Welcome back to postseason Battle Axe here at the Boston Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford. We are here to crown a Battle Axe champion, and the defending champion is looking to make it back-to-back titles. Here's Eric the Scope Shizzle on his strategy this postseason.
So I guess what happened with me and Leroy, we're going after it, and mistakes were made, but that's why I practice what I practice, and I'm not telling anybody why or if I'm going for the outside or if I'm staying in. I don't tell anybody my strategy until they come up and see it. If I make a mistake, I'm free to go in and pick up those extra points with those extra bullseyes. I can hit those, and with the people that we're throwing against, I don't see a whole lot of practice with them going after that, going outside, venturing for that. So I know that I've got points to secure if I need to, which gives me a more relaxed feeling on the lane. So I can kind of relax into it, settle into my stance, and make the throws. That's where I'm going for with all of my games. Matt's seen it, so he knows what to expect. So he knows if I'm making a mistake, rushing my throw or something when it comes up to him, he's going to see that as well. So that I'm not behind ever.
Eric the Scope, always confident.
He's always got confidence. I mean, that's part of what makes a champion. So he does not plan to be behind versus Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. But as we heard in that interview, Joey, he's got some outs and different strategies depending on how the board plays out. But it's going to be a great matchup, and I can't wait for it.
Well, we are ready to go. The number 1 seed, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, taking on the defending champion, Eric the Scope Shizzle. This should be fun.
Well, these are 2 Titans, and they're very familiar with each other's game. Matt took the first game, so he has a 1-0 lead. And you can see there Eric just focusing up, waiting for Matt to throw. And what else is new? There's a bullseye there for Matt the Magic Man.
So Bradshaw out to the early lead. We'll see if this one's a 5 or a 4 for Eric the Scope.
6-4.
Ruled a 4, so just like with Beth Jen's matchup versus Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, Eric gets off on the wrong foot with a 4. But let's see how he responds.
So Bradshaw can no longer score 6, but you'd figure he'll just continue to pepper the 5s on the center ring.
Looks like that could be a
5-5.
bullseye there for Eric, but ruled a 5. He's going to get a closer look, and it looks like it's not popping through on the right-hand side
Throw
there.
number
So
3. Matt,
down
you're
by
up
2 is Eric the Scope. We'll see how quickly he changes his strategy and starts to get adventurous going for those outside bullseyes.
Well, as long as he can at least hit 5s, he's not going to lose any ground on Bradshaw
5-5.
because Bradshaw is just going to continue to score the 5s on the center ring.
With a closer look there, it looks like the Scope sees that as a bullseye, so a huge throw, huge call for him right now. And it is
Alright.
confirmed to be a
that
bullseye,
back.
so Eric takes care of that bullseye there, now only down 1, able to make a point there on Matt
Throw
the
number
Magic
4.
Man.
Matt, you're up by
And
1.
here's where the strategy will come into play. We'll see what the Scope does here against the Magic Man.
Yeah, it's just one of those fun things about the new boards, the new strategy here. You can really put some pressure on your opponent if you have those throws, and he went for it. Oh, it's a
It's like 5-6.
tough look there. It looks like he at least got a 5. I think it was initially ruled a 6, but
Okay.
Eric is an honorable man and wants to come about this victory.
All right. Throw number
Honorably.
5. Matt, you're still up by 1.
So still a 1-point lead for the Magic Man. Final throw of the first half coming. No reason to think the Scope won't go for the outside bullseye yet again.
Another 5 there for the Magic Man. We'll see. Looks like Eric is off the mark.
All right. We've got 5
And that's what
3.
happens when you play with the fire. So there's a rare 3 from Eric the Scope. He's still only down 3, though, with 5 throws to go. We know he's
At
got
the
a kill shot in his
turn.
back pocket. So with Matt playing the 5s,
23
he
to
can tie this
26.
thing up.
Matt, you're up by 3.
Just depends on when he wants to go for it.
Yeah, you could see the frustration on the face of Eric the Scope. He really wanted that one, and he really needed it. Facing elimination here in the A bracket.
Yeah, but, to Eric's point, though, too, like he's made it very far in the A
4,
bracket.
6.
Even if he loses this matchup and goes down to the B bracket, he's going to get a little bit of rest. Another nice throw there by Matt the Magic Man. He's got a 32-27 lead.
Down by 5, the Scope needs to get hot.
That's not the throw he wants. He's going to be lucky if that's a 4, or he's going to be lucky if that's a 5.
4, 5.
And it's ruled a 4 there. So a 6-point lead for the Scope. Now it's
Throw
time to
number
throw
8. We got
everything
31
at the
to
board, Joey.
37. Matt, you're up by 6.
He's got to get the center bullseye here.
Yeah, it all starts with that, and he got close. Let's see if it's popping through on that left-hand side. That's so close with the top of that axe, Joey. And Michelle waiting.
6,
He
5.
ruled a 6 there, so a flair for the dramatic there was Michelle Fremel.
So the Scope gets the 6 he
Throw
needed.
number
He's within
9.
5,
That
and
means
yep,
Matt,
he's
you
going
are
for the
up
kill
by
shot.
5, and Eric's calling
Well,
kill
this is
shot.
a tremendous throw here for Eric the Scope. Let's see if he can hit the kill shot and put some pressure here on the Magic Man. And he does.
Hit and 5.
What a great throw.
The Magic Man's such a great competitor. He gives the Scope a high 5 after hitting the
All right,
bullseye,
guys, on
or
final
the kill
throw,
shot.
after hitting the
we're at
kill shot.
45,
Yeah.
47.
that gets
Matt,
him
you're up by
within
2.
2. And just like that, if
Calling up
the Scope
again.
can hit another kill shot,
Yeah, he can come away with the victory because if Matt's going to play the middle of the board, he's going to hit a 5.
so Bradshaw really thinking this one over.
I believe he's calling for it. He's at least thinking about it, whether he's made the official call here. Ah, there it is.
All right, Matt's
He's
calling
going
kill
up
shot
as well.
I mean, you have to do the math in your head, too. You have to understand that if you're going to hit a 5, and Eric just hit a kill shot, so if he hits it and you hit a 5, you're going to lose his match and go to a rubber match here. And Matt off the mark, and so is Eric the Scope.
Looks like Matt did get the 6, though.
Yeah, you're right. It looks like he did get the 6 there on that left-hand side of the
2
blade.
misses.
Well, we knew this one was going to be good, and it comes down to the final throw, a kill shot attempt. Bradshaw didn't get the 6 after all, but he gets the win, most importantly, 47-45.
Yeah, very close there on that 10th throw, but as Michelle got a closer look, realized that it wasn't a 6, and Matt did not contest because he comes away with the victory. He is the champion of the A bracket, and he will await the survivor of the B bracket. But for Eric the Scope, we saw that risk reward mentality kind of play out there on that fifth throw. He went for that outside bullseye. He was off the mark. Unfortunately for him, that was a 3. Followed it up with a couple 4s. Maybe he got a little in his head a little bit, but he did follow it up with a nice bullseye there on that 8th throw, and then that tremendous kill shot there on the 9th attempt to make this a 2-point game. He put himself in position to win, Joe. So that's all you can really ask, and we'll see if he can survive the B bracket.
Time for B bracket action. It's Leroy the Lumberjack Kedley taking on Devin Hillary. Winner
Throw
go
one.
home.
Yeah, Leroy Kedley has a 1-0 lead here against Devin Hillary, and Devin with a nice 5, possibly a 6 there to get this match started. But for all of the troubles that she's had with the 4, it's got to be great to see that 5, at least that 5, to start this match off.
A nice start for Devin Hillary. She's got a 1-point lead over Leroy Kedley.
And so Leroy's just been doing a great job of living in that 5 and 6 ring all tournament long. Looks like that's a 4 there for both competitors. We'll see maybe if it's popping through on the
4.
bottom part of that blade, but rule to 4. So Devin with an early 1-point lead.
Throw number 3.
A
Devin up
match
1.
that Devin Hillary has to have. She's got to have this game as well.
Exactly.
Otherwise, the season is over for Devin Hillary.
But
4, 5.
after 3 throws, though, she's got 2 5s and only 1 4, so definitely making that progression that we wanted to see
Throw
and she's
4,
wanted to have
Devin 2.
all season long. So a 2-point lead here, and then uncharacteristically so far in this tournament, Leroy is kind of stuck in the vortex a little bit.
4,
What
6.
a great throw from Devin Hillary. A flush bullseye.
Throw
She
5,
suddenly has
Devin
a
4.
4-point lead over Leroy Kedley.
This might be a Freaky Friday situation where Devin is living in that 5 and 6 ring, and Leroy's stuck in the vortex. There, he finally gets out of it. But another tremendous throw there by Devin Hillary.
5.
And at this point, she's happy to trade points, being up 4 going into the turn.
So
All
Leroy
right, at the
Kedley,
turn. Devin's up
not
4,
with the best
25,
first half
21.
against Devin Hillary.
6.
She's got a 4-point lead. Keep her foot on the gas here.
Well, she does with that throw, and sometimes changing lanes is what you need. And it looks like there for Leroy that could be a 5,
5,
but
4.
it's ruled a 4. So unfortunately for him, changing the lanes, he's still somewhat stuck in the vortex. And what can you say about this match
Throw
from
7.
Devin Hillary, living in that
Devin
5 and
up
6
5.
ring?
This is some of the best axe throwing she has done all season, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
Well, we saw with her matchup versus Michelle that she had some really high pressure throws that she came through in the clutch. So
4, 5.
she knows their back's up against the wall here. Leroy able to get a point on her on that throw, but she knows
All right,
what
throw number 8,
she knows
Devin
it's
up
win or go
4,
home
34,
in this
30.
situation. So really rising to the occasion with some tremendous throws. And there's another great one.
6,
And a great
6.
throw there by Leroy as well. So he's starting to get heat fired up.
Throw 9. Devin up 4.
So the
40,
center
36.
bullseye no longer available to Leroy Kedley. He lives in the middle, but he might have to go for those outside bullseyes if he wants to get the win here in Game 2.
4,
Yeah,
5.
if he doesn't want to force a game 3, he's got to be a little aggressive, able to get
All
a
right,
point
here we
there.
are. Throw number 10.
This is a
Devin
perfect
is up
situation
3,
too, where having
44,
that kill shot
41.
ability, can really tie this game, send it to sudden death, possibly put it away. But what a great throw there by Devin.
So Leroy Kedley needs a big throw, and
5, 5.
he just concedes this one, going for the center bullseye. Devin Hillary gets the
Devin
win,
takes that one,
49-46. We're
49-46.
going to a winner-take-all, Game 3.
Yeah, just a tremendous throw there by Devin Hillary. Tremendous match, actually, altogether. So a nice score of 49. She's forcing a rubber match. We'll see how that plays out. But for her, it's got to be so great, Joey, to finally get out of that vortex. As you can see, there's 3 4s on that scorecard, but we've seen her throw a lot more. But she was living in that 5 and 6 ring. A lot of those 5s would have been bullseyes as well. So she has definitely figured something out. See if she can carry it over. We know that's the hardest part of this game is to maintain that muscle memory and put it all together consistently. That's what makes Matt the Magic Man, Eric the Scope, Beth Jen such great competitors. And then for Leroy Kedley, he got stuck in that vortex a little bit, but he did turn it on. We saw him living in that 5 and 6 ring all tournament long, so he was able to fix it. We'll see if he can carry it over. But it's been a tremendous tournament, Joey.
Let's take a look at the updated B bracket. Bob Yoakum taking on Beth Jen, and you just saw Devin Hillary taking on Leroy Kedley. I'm still scratching my head why Kedley didn't go for the kill shot. That was his only opportunity to force sudden death. Would have loved to have seen him do that.
Well, and he's a creature of habit, so he was living in the middle of that board and he just figured it out. So I wonder if him getting a little lost in that vortex kind of shook him a little bit, and he just wanted to focus up.
Leroy Kedley will look to stay alive against Devin Hillary here in the B bracket. Much more Battle Axe coming up here on MC22. Welcome back to Postseason Battle Axe. We are getting closer and closer to crowning a Battle Axe champion here at the Bustin' Axe throwing range. Leroy Kedley was able to just advance against Devin Hillary in a winner-take-all Game 3 to stay alive in the B bracket. And now Leroy the Lumberjack Kedley will be looking to take out Beth Jen here in the B bracket as well.
Yeah, so after a tremendous match with Devin Hillary, he is able to survive, and he gets a formidable foe in Beth Jen. Starts it off with a 4. Both players in the B bracket. Winner go home. And looks like that could be a 5 there for Beth Jen if it's popping through on the left-hand side of that blade. And we see the A bracket champion, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, calling it a 5.
So Beth Jen out to the early lead here against Leroy Kedley here in Game 1 in this best-of-3 winner-take-all matchup.
Looks like that could be a 5 there for Leroy. Definitely a 5 there for Beth. Let's see if it's popping through on the bottom part of the blade, and it's ruled that it is. So Beth with a nice start, a couple 5s. See if she hits that middle bullseye, Joey, if she gets adventurous and keeps putting the pressure on Leroy here, but she's got to take care of first things first.
6-4.
So Leroy Kedley first to get the middle bullseye here. Gives him a 1-point lead over Beth Jen, just like that. A 1-point deficit turns into a 1-point advantage.
What's to your point, Joey, the first person to hit the bullseye really has an advantage because, not only do you score more points than your opponent, but they're now even have more pressure to hit that bullseye because you can start to advance and go to different places if you so choose.
Number 5, Leroy up 1,
Leroy hitting that bullseye first before Beth Jen definitely gives him an advantage.
Well, Beth Jen going to try and get the 6 here on her final throw of the first half, and indeed she does. A flush bullseye to tie this one up at 25.
25 at the turn.
Yeah, so nice high-pressure throw there by Beth Jen, and they'll switch sides and see if she can carry it over. And for Leroy, only that 1-4, and Beth only the 1-4 on the scorecard. So we're getting to that time of night, Joey, where it's going to be very close scores, Everyone's going to be very few mistakes. We'll see which mistake kind of determines the outcome.
5-4.
See there's from Beth a 4 there. So Leroy able to take a 1-point lead going into the 7th throw.
Throw 7, Leroy up 1.
We saw Leroy get kind of stuck in that vortex a little bit versus Devin Hillary, but he seemed to have figured something out on that back half of that game.
5-6.
It's definitely carried over to this matchup with Beth Jen. So.
Well, another bullseye for Leroy Kedley. He's got a 2-point lead over Beth Jen. She's got to hit the center bullseye soon here.
Yeah, I'd like to see, maybe she was talking about an early kill shot versus Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. I don't see why that strategy wouldn't necessarily apply versus Leroy Kedley as well, because you want to put major points on the board, and the kill shot is the way to do it. So with 2 throws to go, down by 3, let's see if she does it at some point. That looks like a 5 there for Leroy. Could be a 5 for Beth if it's popping through the top part. Rule to 4.
Well, now Beth Jen has no choice but to go for the kill shot here against Leroy Kedley if she wants a shot at this one, unless Kedley would have some sort of devastating mistake, but he's been locked in this whole match.
Well, he throws a 4 there. Beth did call for the kill shot, so she's lining up. Leroy did his part. Let's see if we get another sudden death here, Joey. Oh, and off the mark. So 50-42, Leroy takes game 1.
All right, Leroy takes that one.
Leroy Kedley with a very consistent round. A round of 50 to get the win over Beth Jen. he's really dialed in right now.
Yeah, he bookended it with a couple fours there, but as you can see in the middle of that book, it's nothing but 5s and 6s, and a lot of those 5s were bullseye shots as well. So a nice score of 50. Leroy is definitely locked in. Whatever he got stuck in the vortex with that Devin Hillary matchup, he seemed to have shook off, and he looks like a formidable foe, taking an early 1-0 lead in this matchup versus Beth Jen. And then for her, she just got stuck in that. She had a little too many 4s. I wouldn't say she got stuck in the vortex, Joey, but just too many 4s there on the scorecard. We've seen her consistently live in that 5 and 6 ring. I'd like to see her be a little bit more aggressive, and that all starts with that middle bullseye. So if she can hit that early on in this next matchup, maybe she can be the aggressor and tie this thing up.
Beth Jen now facing elimination in Game 2. Leroy the Lumberjack Kedley looking to send Beth Jen home. We'll see how this one plays out here in Game 2.
Throw
It's also
one.
at this point in the night, too, Joey, where fatigue starts to settle in. We have a lot of matches that have been thrown. That axe gets heavy. And we'll see how both competitors hold up to the endurance here. And looks like a 4 and a 5 there for Leroy. So, again, not the start that Beth Jen wanted. But, again, like an early drop, there's a lot of throws to go to make up for it. We'll see how she responds.
Eric the Scope Shizzle, the defending champion, awaiting the winner of this one in the B bracket. And then after that, it'll be Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw awaiting
5-5.
whoever comes out of this B bracket for the championship.
Yeah, that's why we say you win the A bracket, but you survive the B bracket, because
All right, throw number 3.
definitely
Leroy up
has
1.
its trials and tribulations. There's a lot of tests out there. But both these competitors are doing a great job of just really improving their game. There's a nice throw there by Beth. That could be a bullseye if it's popping through in the bottom part of that blade.
5-4.
But ruled a 5 there by the Magic Man. And Leroy's going to get a closer look at his 4, it looks like.
All tied at 14.
He knows this is a huge throw.
Second.
And he does call for a second.
So we will get another set of eyeballs on this one. It's Eric the Scope coming in to see if perhaps this is a 5 for Kedley.
Well, it's a huge call. Because it was originally ruled a 4, so Beth able to get a point back. But if this is a 5, Leroy's happy to trade points. So ruled a 5.
So a good challenge there from Leroy Kedley. The call is overturned, and
All
Leroy
right, throw
Kedley
number 4.
maintains his
Leroy's up
1-point
1,
advantage.
15-14.
Yeah, just a huge overturn call there. Beth thought she had tied this thing up, but as it stands, she's still down by 1. There's a 4 there for Beth. Could be a 5 for Leroy. Just depends on that top part of that blade.
4-4.
But luckily for Beth, we ruled a 4 as well, so no ground gain, no ground loss.
All right, this is throw
Jen
number
and
5.
Kedley
Leroy up 1.
yet to hit the bullseye here in game number 2. We'll see if one of them can hit it right here.
Well, you can just hear the hush of the crowd, Joey. Everyone's just hanging on every throw. And that looks like a bullseye there for Beth. Is it a bullseye for Kedley as well?
6.
And it is.
So Leroy Kedley will take a 1-point lead into the second half
All right, at the
with
turn,
Beth
Leroy's up
Jen
1, 25-24.
facing elimination.
Now, this is a true nail
number
biter
6.
of a match. Everything's on the line here for Beth Jen. Leroy has to be the aggressor, keep this pedal to the metal. A nice throw that looks at least a 5. We'll have to get a closer look with our action cam. It looks like that could be a bullseye there, Joey, for Mr. Leroy Kedley.
6-5.
And Beth Jen hoping it's a 5. It is. So Leroy Kedley extending the lead by 2, but he can no longer
Throw
get
number
6
7, Leroy
on
up
the
2.
center bullseye. Back-to-back bullseyes for Kedley.
And a chance for what we dare not speak. We know he's not going to go to those outside bullseyes, but we haven't seen many unicorn attempts or unicorn opportunities in this tournament. But he elects to stay in the middle. Let's see maybe if you've got an old school one here, if it's close enough, because that's at least a 5.
5-6.
Beth able to hit that bullseye and make up a point.
So Beth Jen down 1, 3 throws to
Throw
go.
number 8, Leroy's
She
up
can no
1,
longer get 6 on the
36-35.
center bullseye. We'll see how aggressive she gets here down the stretch in this one.
Yeah, it's so close. I mean, unlike Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, where you know those
5-5.
4s are really rare, we've seen some 4s from Leroy. So he's done a tremendous job this entire tournament of living in that
Throw
5
number
and 6
9,
ring. But
Leroy up 1.
when do you get aggressive? I mean, that's always the magic question.
Just 2 throws to go now. We'll see what Kedley does here. And
5-5.
Beth Jen trading points with Kedley.
that one, Leroy.
Not going to get it done in this one.
Oh,
But
Leroy.
this is a crucial ruling here.
So rule to 4 there for Leroy. So
just like that, we are tied up, Bobby.
absolutely, we're tied up. So another crucial ruling going,
All right,
not
we
going
are
in
tied
the
at 45.
way of
Throw
Leroy
number
here. So
10.
we saw him a devastating 4 turned into a 3 versus Eric the Scope, and we'll see how it plays out here. That's a 5 there for
5-5.
Leroy and a 5 there for Beth. So you ready for it, Joey?
Here we
Well,
go, you
Leroy
two.
Kedley is going to have to get a little uncomfortable here. He's going to have to go for the kill shot
Sudden death.
to send Beth Jen home. Beth Jen
All right, here we
looking
go.
to extend this series to game 3. Who's ever closer to the kill shot will win.
Yeah, this is a huge throw for. I mean, Beth is used to kill shots. She's familiar with him, but what a throw. Maybe Leroy should be going for more kill shots. That was a tremendous throw, and Beth is off the mark. I think Leroy's got this one.
Yes.
No doubt about that. For someone who
Leroy takes that
claims
one.
to be uncomfortable going for kill shots, he looked awfully comfortable right there. Leroy Kedley advancing to the final 3. Beth Jen's tournament is over after a Final Four appearance.
It was a tremendous season for Beth Jen. She exits without the belt, but for her, it was a tremendous tournament. It was a tremendous season. So she can see there on that scorecard, only a couple 4s there. Just a tremendous job of getting to sudden death here. She was off the mark on that kill shot attempt. But for Leroy Kedley, what can you say? Only 2 4s there on that scorecard. And then again, to your point, Joey, a guy who is uncomfortable, quote unquote, going for those outside bullseyes and kill shots. He got pretty close and he looked pretty comfortable doing it. So we know you need those kill shots to win a championship. We know you need to be the aggressor. And these close matches are always going to come down to sudden death, kill shot, something of that nature. So we'll see if he can carry it over and come away with the championship.
Here's a look at the B bracket now. It'll be Leroy Kedley taking on the defending champion, Eric the Scope Shizzle, with a spot in the championship against Matt Bradshaw on the line.
Yeah, I mean, Leroy has just been the darling of the night. You know, he's coming in here. He's the fourth seed, but he has made his way through Beth Jen to face Eric the Scope Shizzle, who we know is a champion in his own right. The winner of this matchup goes on to face Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw and a chance at taking home the belt.
We will crown a Battle Axe champion momentarily after a quick break here on MC22. Stay tuned for the conclusion of this Battle Axe championship. Welcome back to the Boston Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, where we are about to crown a Battle Axe champion. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford. And Bobby, we're down to the final 3.
Yeah, we are towards the end of the B bracket here, so Eric the Scope will be taking on Leroy Kedley, and the winner of this matchup will go and face Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, who's had a chance to relax a little bit and maybe catch his breath.
Leroy the Lumberjack Kedley against Eric the Scope Shizzle with a spot in the championship on the line.
So as we come into this is the rubber match between Eric the Scope and Leroy Kedley. So all knotted up at 1-1. It's truly a winner-go-home matchup here.
One game with the season on the line, and the Scope off to a great start. A shaky start here for Kedley with a 3.
That was a throw we have not seen out of Leroy all night long. So not the way that he wants to start off this match, but we've said it before throughout the night, Joey. Fatigue does set in at some point. So we are towards the end of this marathon, and
4-5.
it was a better throw there by Leroy on
I called it.
the second throw, but still not a 5 or 6 that he's looking for.
Yep.
Might be a 5, but
Oh,
it
rule
is.
of 5. Yeah, rule of
Okay,
5.
so Leroy Kedley just able to get the 5 and pick up a point on Eric the Scope.
Yeah, so must have been popping through on that right-hand side of the blade. Shows what I know, Joey. But a nice response there by Leroy. Looks like another 5 there as well.
5-5.
And for Eric, a nice throw. Count as a 5, but in our hearts, that's a bullseye.
So the Scope maintaining his 2-point advantage. Kedley can still get the 6 on the center bullseye to get within a point.
And we see here from Eric's strategy, he's just continuing to play the middle of that board. He knows he's got a lead here, and there's no sense in leaving that
5-4.
door open for Leroy to come back. And another nice throw there. And
All right, this is
Miss
throw
there for
5.
Leroy.
Eric is up by 3.
So Eric the Scope now up by 3. Kedley could really use a bullseye here.
yeah, he could really use a bullseye. And then there's a changing of lanes, so he's got a chance at another one there. But off the mark again, just holding on to the axis a little bit too long.
5-4.
Then for Eric, I don't know if you noticed this, Joey,
All right,
but he's
switch
looking
sides.
pretty
Eric is
locked
up by
in.
4.
The defending champion closing in on a trip back to the championship. Leroy Kedley going to try and stand in his way here. A shaky start for Kedley. We'll see if he can get hot here in the second half.
And you can see Eric is just cool, calm, and collected. He's got the mentality of a champion. He knows what it takes to take that belt home, and he doesn't want anyone else to take that belt home
4-6.
tonight. So he starts off that turn with a 6, so another nice bullseye there for Eric the Scope, and he's eyeing in that championship matchup versus Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, unless Leroy can do something to come back.
Yeah, that belt is Eric's until somebody else comes to take it. And Matt the Magic Man is awaiting in the championship, trying to take that belt back in his possession.
Leroy had a great throw there, and Eric getting aggressive, knowing
5-5.
that he's got to be going for those outside bullseyes if he wants to beat Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. So he hits
All
that
right, this
outside
is throw
5
8.
ring
Eric is up by 6.
and still up by 6. So that's a gutsy call there.
Yeah, we knew Eric was aggressive. I didn't know he was that aggressive. A very aggressive move with a lead in a winner-take-all Game 3 with a spot in the championship on the line. And Eric the Scope, maybe a little too aggressive for his own good, but
No, he looks like he
when
got
you're
that.
hitting him, why not?
Exactly. So he's off the mark there, but still hit the 5. Leroy with a nice flush bullseye. I love it, Joey. You got to go
All right, this
big or
is
go
throw
home,
9.
and
Eric's
Eric's
up by
definitely
5.
going big. So although he didn't hit the bullseye, a couple 5s there on that upper left-hand side bullseye.
It makes it fun to watch, that is for sure. And it could pay big dividends against the Magic Man
3.
in the championship.
And that's a 3 there for Eric. So we saw that in his first match with Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw.
All right,
High
this is
risk, high
throw 10.
reward. Now
Eric
it is a
up by
4-point
4.
game going
Going
into
up
the
on
10th
the
throw.
left.
You see Leroy making the kill shot call. Maybe he unlocked something with that match with Beth Jen.
He nearly hit it against Jen. Shizzle can put it away with a 5, but he leaves the door open.
4 and miss.
Wow.
And Kedley off the mark. Eric the Scope heading
Eric
back to
takes
the
that,
championship.
48-40.
He takes down Leroy Kedley 48-40. A great run coming to an end here for Leroy the Lumberjack.
What a tremendous tournament here by Leroy Kedley. Score of 40 is not indicative of how great his night has been. I mean, even this matchup, Joey, he starts off this match with a 3, does a great job of working himself back into the game. He had a shot. Eric threw that 4 there on that 10th throw and left the door open. So definitely a goal, I think, for Leroy next year is to work on those outside bullseyes, get comfortable with that kill shot, because he was very close to going to the championship game here. And if he can have those throws a little more in his back pocket, maybe he'll be taking home that belt next season. But for Eric the Scope, he is locked in. He is ready to keep that belt and go up against the Magic Man.
Well, nothing for Leroy Kedley to hang his head on here in this one. He got really hot down in the B bracket. Here's Kedley on finishing 3rd place in this year's tournament.
I was going for the championship belt, but as the season went along, I was like, and I don't know, I just got really dialed in and really focused. And I'm like, geez, and last week, I was 3rd in the standings. I'm like, it's doable. It's really doable. But yeah, I'm happy with 3rd.
A tip of the cap to Leroy Kedley on a job well done.
Yeah, fantastic tournament. In 3rd place is nothing to sneeze at.
And now we are set for the championship. Eric the Scope Shizzle against Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. This is exactly the kind of matchup you'd expect here in the championship.
We knew these are championship caliber throwers, and Eric has been through the gauntlet of the B bracket, so he is laser focused right now, and Matt has had a chance to relax a little bit, get rested up, and we'll see who comes out the victor. But it looks like that could be a bullseye there for Matt if it's popping through the left-hand side. Beth going to get a closer look and see if that's a 5 there for the Scope. Maybe a bullseye.
6-6.
And ruled a couple bullseyes.
So right out of the gates, the Scope and the Magic Man hitting the bullseye. We'll see how aggressive the Scope gets here the rest of the first half here against the Magic Man.
We mentioned how advantageous it is to hit that bullseye first, so both competitors doing that. We know match strategy. We know that Eric is going to determine his strategy when he wants. So he's electing to play the middle of the board too. But as we just saw in that matchup with Leroy Kedley, he was very aggressive going for that upper left-hand side bullseye, and he hit it. He hit the 5 ring twice, and did have that 1-3. So those are the kind of mistakes that the Magic Man feasts on, and Eric cannot have. Looks like a 5 there for the Magic Man.
The scope with laser focus. He goes to the center again. He's got to hope this one's a 5.
Yeah, those are the kind of mistakes that you really don't want to have. You know, if you be aggressive and go for the kill shot or go for those outside bullseyes and you hit the 3, you are being aggressive. If you're playing the middle of the board, you have to hit those 5s and 6s, especially against the Magic Man. So that 4,
Matt is up by 1.
although he's only down 1, has to feel a little devastating.
We'll see if this changes the way the scope goes about it. Perhaps now he's going to go for the outside bullseye.
Likes to play the
5-5?
middle of the board, but still trading points with Matt, down by 1, going into the 5th throw. Not a bad place to be. Not
This
optimal,
is throw
but not
5.
bad.
Eric the Scope, one final throw here in the first half to try and perhaps tie things up.
I think we just saw the adjustment, Joey. I think he might be going for that upper left-hand side bullseye. And he is, and it looks like he might have got that 5 ring. He's indicating 3.
5.
But that didn't miss that 5 ring by much.
Ring is the 3, not the 4.
Well, that's the risk that is involved when you go for that outside bullseye. And just like that, Bradshaw will take a 3-point lead into the second half.
All right,
I'd like
Matt
that
is up
call
by
there
3.
on the 5th throw, though, Joe, because you're switching lanes. You can return to the middle, so you're not wasting a throw per se. But if you're going to take that shot this early on in the match, that's when you got to do it. And
6-6.
another couple bullseyes there. So true heavyweight bout.
Still a 3-point lead for Bradshaw. We'll see if the scope gets aggressive right away, going for those outside bullseyes.
From that initial look, it did look like he was lining up for one of those outside bullseyes, and there's the confirmation. He is lined up for that upper left-hand side. I think that's his preferred bullseye to go to. Oh, and he's off the
5-5.
mark again, but ruled a 5.
I think you got in there.
Oh, but Eric gets a
Sorry,
closer look
5-3.
and ever so honest. That's another 3 there, so he is
All right,
down by
this is
5
throw
in this
8.
first
Matt is up
best of
by
3
5.
matchup. But again, that's something, a couple kill shots, and we know Matt's going to go for kill shots as well if it's advantageous for
5-4.
him.
So it is now a 6-point deficit for Eric the Scope. Probably time to go
Supposed
for the
hit
kill
that
shot.
red
It's
thing.
probably kill shot time,
I know.
and he knows
This is
it.
throw 9. Matt's up 6.
But again,
All right,
we
kill
saw
shot on
Eric
the
hit
right.
hit a kill shot earlier on versus Matt the Magic Man. There's the official call. So Matt playing the middle of the board, cool, calm, and collected as well. Ooh, he's off
That's
the
a
mark. I
miss.
don't think he got the 6 there. So
And a 5 for Matt.
Eric will go down
Throw 10.
0
Matt is up
1
by
here
11.
to Matt the Magic
Kill
Man, but
shots
both
on both
competitors going up for the
sides.
kill shot, getting some nice practice because something tells me this next game is going to be close too, Joey.
Yeah, no reason not to go up here for the kill shot for the Magic Man and the Scope.
Magic Man, it looks like he's at least got the 6. Oh, yeah, that's a flush
Hit
kill
Matt,
shot.
miss
Wow.
Eric.
What a gorgeous kill shot that was there by the Magic Man.
Top left.
Well, a great round from
All right,
Matt the
Matt
Magic
takes
Man
that
Bradshaw,
55-36.
55-36. He takes a 1-game advantage against Eric the Scope.
I mean, that's the typical score we've seen from Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, adding that little kill shot there on the 10th throw just for extra measure. But he takes an early 1-0 lead versus Eric the Scope. But we saw Eric's strategy kind of unfold, and something tells me that these next 2 games are going to be similar as well. As long as Eric can keep pace with Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, and then really pick his times to be aggressive and go for those outside bullseyes, that's really what's going to separate Eric from Matt. Because if he can hit those bullseyes while Matt's living in the 5 ring, and if Eric can get hot, which we've seen before, he could definitely tie this thing up and force a rubber match.
Bradshaw 1 win away from another championship. Eric the Scope Shizzle looking to force a Game 3. We'll bring it to you straight ahead here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. We are about to crown a champion between Eric the Scope Shizzle and Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. The Scope looking to make it back-to-back titles, but Bradshaw just 1 win away from taking back that championship
Are
belt.
open.
Let's get right to the action here. Joey, Matt with the 1-0 lead going into Game 2. We'll see how both competitors on their first and their sixth throw hit the bullseye and eliminated that right away. It looks like
6-6.
Matt hit his and carbon copy.
Great start to the match.
Well, Bradshaw and the Scope off to a great start here in game number 2. We'll see how aggressive the Scope gets facing elimination here in game 2.
Yeah, for Eric, again, it's just keeping pace with Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw.
5-4.
Oh, he's going to regret that throw. It's a 4, not popping through in the bottom part of that blade.
So Bradshaw now with a 1-point lead against the Scope as Bradshaw looks to win the championship belt for the 4th time in his illustrious Battle Axe career.
And with so many of these competitors, Joey, in the league, you make a
5-4.
mistake, you have a chance to come back and, you have a chance to come back and bridge a deficit. But for Matt the Magic Man, like when he gets up 1 point, you feel like it's the Grand Canyon. There's just no overcoming it because he just doesn't make mistakes. So for Eric, he got aggressive really quickly on that third throw, staying aggressive.
Hold, please.
Bet's going to get a closer look. That could be a 5.
5-5.
But just after that second throw, Eric had to decide, okay, I have to be aggressive. I have to go for that outside bullseye.
A 5 is a 5.
Fortunately for him, he hit that 5
All right,
ring
this
there.
is
But
throw 5.
on
Matt's
that
up
third
2.
throw, he hit a 4 by trying to be aggressive. And it's still a 2-point game, but you can see it already. Eric's feeling it.
Yeah, the Magic Man will not beat himself. You have to go out there and beat him, and that's exactly what the
5-3.
Scope is trying to do. But it's a task
Right,
that
at
is
the
much
turn,
easier
Matt is
said
up
than done.
4,
That one getting away from the
26-22.
Scope a little bit. He just missed the 5 ring. So the Magic Man now up by 4 heading into the second half.
Yeah, but Eric's doing what he has to do. I do think this is the formula to beat the Magic Man. You have to stay aggressive. You have to be the one putting the pressure on. And again, it's throws like
6-6.
that from both of those competitors. These are why they are champions. They're dialed into that middle of the board. It's just getting comfortable with that outside, and Eric has definitely been the leader of that movement, going to that upper left-hand bullseye quite a bit. But he has to start hitting them because we know Matt's just going to live in that 5 ring. And did he get that 5? It looks like he did. Possibly a bullseye.
A big calling here coming from Beth
Oh, yeah.
Jen.
6.
Yeah, that says just barely. From the action cam there, it looked like he got that pretty good. But, hey, that's that kind of risk reward and a
yes.
chance at a
Matt's up
unicorn
3, this is
now,
throw
and he's
8.
only down by 3. Let's see if Eric can get cooking here.
The Scope with a smile on his face after that one. We'll see if he can keep it going and get within 2 here with another bullseye.
Let's see if he's going to go up to that upper right-hand bullseye, and he is. We'll see. It's a big ruling. Eric indicates a 5. Let's see if it's popping through on that
5-5.
right-hand side. And it is. So, again, able to trade points. Not perfect for Eric, but it's better than going down 4.
Absolutely. Staying within 3 is crucial. It keeps that kill shot available
Yep,
to
throw 9.
at least send you to sudden
down by
death on the final throw if it's needed.
Kill shot on the left.
Oh, and Eric's calling for the kill shot now. I love it. Matt hit the 5 there.
So we would be all tied up if the Scope can hit this.
That is a miss.
Oh, and he's off the mark.
All right, this is throw 10.
So it's now
Matt
an
is up by
8-point
8.
lead for Bradshaw.
Kill shot on the
And
left.
of course, the Scope is going to go up.
I don't think Matt's going to go up because if he misses it and Eric hits it, we're all tied up here. So he's going to elect to play the middle of the board. And it looks like Eric at least he got the
5
kill shot. Oh, no,
and-
got the 6
Sorry
there.
for the dramatic pause.
And that will do it.
I
The
think
Magic
it's-
Man
It's a 6.
with another flush bullseye that counts for
All right,
5.
Matt takes that 52-45.
The
and
Scope
Matt is
gets
our league
the
winner.
6, but Bradshaw gets the title. Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, champion once again for the 4th time in his career.
Just a tremendous tournament here by Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. Just a model of consistency all throughout this tournament. A tremendous competitor and definitely someone that's worthy of having the World Axe Throwing League Championship belt. But for Eric the Scope, you really have to admire his aggressive play. He put himself in position to come back in this game. He had a chance to tie it with that kill shot on the 9th throw, which would have put some real pressure on Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. Something tells me Matt would have gone for the kill shot with Eric on that 10th throw if they had tied this thing up and sent it to sudden death. But just a great job of being adventurous, going out and living in those bullseyes. And although second place isn't winning the championship, he had a tremendous tournament, and he's a champion in our hearts.
Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw back on top of the Battle Axe Mountain Here's Bradshaw on winning the title once again.
This one feels really good. I mean, there was a lot of good throwers this season, and they progressed from week to week. So when it got time, week 7 to the tournament, everybody was throwing lights out. So I had to be on my A games. But this one feels really nice. With the group that we have here, with a couple of newbies coming in and the way they progressed, I think this belt, even though I was the first person to hold it, I think everybody in this league has a chance to hold this because they did fantastic. And I'm very proud to see their progression in the game and just be able to take this to heart and really enjoy the sport. So it's really good to see. So they deserve this as much as I do.
The Magic Man, such a great competitor and such a great ambassador of what this league is all about. For Bobby the Blade and our entire MC22 crew, I'm Joey Dania. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on Battle Axe.